On November 15th, 2024, the Pokemon Company will be releasing the Charizard EX League Battle Deck. And if you're looking to get into the competitive side of the Pokemon trading card game, League Battle Decks are pre-constructed decks that are built in a way that you can pretty much play them in a tournament right out of the box. And with a couple of upgrades, you can have one of the best decks in the game. And Charizard EX is no exception. Charizard EX is one of the best decks, and it has been for the past year, and it seems like there's no real slowing down for Charizard EX, and we're getting it in this League Battle Deck. So today we are going to put this deck into action as is, so you can see exactly how it works without any sort of upgrades. I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about the Charizard EX League Battle Deck. So we'll go over all the cards and talk about how the deck works and how to play it, and then you'll see some matches at the back end of this video. We'll start with Charizard EX. It is a Stage 2 Dark-type Pokemon. It is not Fire because it's a Terra type. It's got the funny hat on, and it changes its typing. 330 HP. It is very big and very difficult for most decks to KO, and it's got the ability Inferno Rain, which accelerates 2 energy from your deck, or 3 energy from your deck to your Pokemon in any way you like, and it's 3 fire energy. So you can power up a Charizard EX plus something else on your bench. And we've got Burning Darkness as its attack for 2 fire energy, does 180 damage and 30 more damage for each prize your opponent has taken, which means if they've taken 5 prizes, this is swinging for 330 damage, enough to one-hit KO pretty much any Pokemon in the game. So over the course of the match, you are doing more damage, and you can really optimize it by taking out the right Pokemon at the right damage breakpoint so that you are taking multiple prizes or the right prizes each turn. All right, let's go move on to the rest of the deck here. So to get things rolling, oh, I've got the wrong list here. This is the League Battle Deck list. We can jump in. So the cards we're getting here, we've got 4 Charmander for setting up. It's the 70 HP one. It's got Blazing Destruction as an attack, where you can discard a stadium and play for 1 fire energy. It's fine. It's fine. It's mostly here to set up our Charizard EX. We have 3 copies of Charmeleon with that Flare Veil ability. It prevents all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. So certain attacks like Sableye Lost Mine or Phantom Dive by Dragapult, which drops damage counters on bench Pokemon, Charmeleon gets to block all of that without any sort of extra protection from something like a Manaphy or a Rabsca. We've got 3 copies of Moltres. This card is mostly junk. Admittedly, it does have the ability Flare Float, where it can retreat for free, and the snipe attack, theoretically, you could power up using Charizard's ability, and you do 120 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This deck otherwise doesn't have a bench snipe attack, but it doesn't really need it. If you get stuck with it at the beginning of the game, you'll want to put it in the active and let it get knocked out, or ideally you attach a TM Evo to it, and then you can evolve up your Charmander and your Pidgey to get rolling that way. We've also got a 3/2/2 line of Pidgeot. So we've got 3 of the Pidgey with the Call for Family attack. On your first turn, you can attach energy, go Call for Family, and get 2 basic Pokemon and put them on your bench. It can be a great way of setting up your bench. 2 copies of Pidgeotto. You're not going to attack with this at all. Really, you're using this to evolve up from Pidgey so that you've got some extra. It makes it easier to get to Pidgeot on the following turn, especially if you use TM Evo to set this up. And then 2 copies of Pidgeot EX, which is absolutely busted. Its quick search ability lets you grab a card from your deck and put it into your hand once per turn. So this is really going to help your deck out with your consistency and just cherry pick the cards you need at any given time so that Charizard can attack over and over again against the right targets and disrupt your opponent accordingly. For trainer cards, we've got 1 copy of Prime Catcher, which is Pokemon Company. Chef's Kiss. You get to switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot, and if you do, switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. This is amazing because it gusts the right target onto the bench or into the active, and in particular against decks where they're trying to play around your damage output, like they put smaller Pokemon like Lumineon or Squawkabilly that you can knock out with Charizard, but then the rest of their attackers, they can't because they haven't taken enough prizes. You can use Prime Catcher to gust those up and then just retreat whatever you end up moving to the active. Like if it's Pidgeot, you don't even have to attach energy. You just retreat for free. So an item-based gusting option, phenomenal. We get 2 copies of Professor's Research. You get to discard your hand and draw 7 cards. This is particularly great when you've got a low amount of cards and you're not really worried about what you're discarding and you just grab 7 cards. And just the sheer volume of fresh cards you can get into your hand with Professor's Research is fantastic. Most competitive builds aren't really running Research, but like it's a great card and it works in the context of this deck here. So you might want to take this out, but you're in no rush to take this one out when you upgrade. Here's Artazon. This is a stadium that lets you put a basic Pokemon, non-rule box Pokemon from your deck and put it directly onto your bench. Can make it easier to set up your Pidgeys and your Charmanders for future turns. 2 copies of Boss's Orders lets you gust an opposing bench Pokemon into the active spot, in particular against certain decks that are playing around your damage or you don't have the damage on Charizard to take certain KOs. You can gust around and hit the right targets with Boss. 4 copies of Iono, where both players shuffle their hands into the bottom of their deck and then draw equal to the number of prize cards remaining. This is a great disruption card for throwing your opponent off and giving them fewer cards, while also giving you a fresh set of cards. And you're not as hurt by this because you've got Pidgeot to cherry pick cards that you need along the way. 2 copies of Arven, where you get to search your deck for an item card and a tool card, put them into your hand and shuffle your deck. There's a lot of great items and tools in this deck, from Rare Candies, Buddy Poffin, TM Evo, Prime Catcher, Defiance Band, and so on. Now, it's not as potent as a pre-rotation, fully built-out Charizard deck because this deck does not have some of the staples you're used to seeing, like a Rotom V, Lumineon, Forest Heal Stone, so you can't pull off those types of combos with this deck out of the box, but you can buy all of those cards and put them in, and it's not that big of a deal. So only 2 copies of Arven here. In the context of the way this deck is built, I think it's fine. We've got 2 copies of Technical Machine Evolution, where for 1 energy, you can choose up to 2 of your bench Pokemon and evolve them the next step up. So regardless of what you've got in the active, you generally want to go second. Ideally get TM Evo and then evolve up a Charmander into a Charmeleon and a Pidgey into a Pidgeot. It might be 2 Charmanders if in a worst case scenario. But yeah, this is going to help you evolve up to your stage 2 Pokemon in 2 turns versus 3. We've got 1 copy of Super Rod, where you get to put 3 in any combination of basic energy and Pokemon from your discard pile back into your deck. You don't need this as much in this build. Like competitive Charizard builds usually run 2 Super Rods, but you're running a ton of energy in this deck. And that's one of the first things I would update is I would cut this energy down to 6, maybe even 5 if you're playing the double turbo energy pre-rotation. So yeah, 1 Super Rod would be nice to add here. In the context of how the League Battle deck is built, 1 Super Rod here is fine. We've got 1 copy of Defiance Band. When you're behind on prizes, you do an extra 30 more damage. This plays really well into the strategy of going second because they take a prize, they knock out one of your smaller Pokemon, Charizard comes in, and you slap a Defiance Band on it, and now it's swinging for 240 damage instead of 210, and that's going to be enough to knock out pretty much every basic V and every basic EX in the game outside of Blood Moon or Saluna, which if they're stuck with that at the beginning of the game, they've got more problems than just they've got more problems than having to deal with tanking a hit with 240. 4 copies of Buddy-Buddy Poffin, fantastic cards in this deck. Lets you search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less. This is going to get you your Charmanders and your Pidgeys on the board. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards, grab any Pokemon of your choice from your deck and put it into your hand. 1 copy of Switch, where you get to switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Now, generally, Charizard decks don't run Switch, but if for some reason you have something like a Moltres stuck or you're playing against some sort of stall deck, Switch can be a nice addition to the deck as well. We've also got 4 copies of Rare Candy that let you evolve up from your basic Pokemon to your stage 2. Now, this is a question that came up on stream today. You have to let your basic Pokemon sit for a turn, and then on the following turn, you can Rare Candy up to Charizard. You can't do it instantly. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. Last but not least, we've got 10 Fire Energy. So your general game plan for this deck is that you are looking to Go second, and you're going to want to get down a couple of Charmanders and at least one Pidgey. Ideally, you will want to TM Evo them up to Charmeleon and Pidgeotto. And then on your following turn, whether you use Rare Candy or you just evolve them straight up, you get Pidgeot set up and then Charizard set up. Pidgeot will then help stabilize the deck, grabbing cards that you need from turn to turn. And then Charizard, attach a bunch of energy to itself. Maybe you'll attach it to another Charmander on the bench to set up future turns, and then start swinging with Burning Darkness. Definitely keep in mind how much damage Charizard is doing throughout the game, because as your opponent takes more prizes, this is going to swing for more, and you will want to keep that in mind so that you are hitting the right targets at the right times and keeping yourself in the game so you can make that big comeback at the end, or just take the dominant win at the end, whatever the case might be. I think this is the strongest League battle deck they've ever put out, and this deck is pretty much a no-brainer. The only thing is that if you're playing this between November of 2024 and March/April 2025, there are a bunch of cards that are missing here. Like you're not getting Rotom V, Luminion V, Forest Sealstone, Radiant Charizard. I think those are relatively easy fixes that you can pop into this deck, but otherwise, like, it's a really amazing core, and it's, I think, the best League battle deck ever made. And I think just the price of Prime Catcher alone, with how expensive this card is, will make it worth buying, even if you don't need a Charizard deck. So absolutely phenomenal product here. Pokemon knocked it out of the park. Now let's go check out this deck in action. Oh God. You know, we're going to put this Moltres out here, like, for the purposes of dying. Our opponent's probably looking at this deck like, what the heck is this Moltres doing here? You love this community and game. It's a great game. Well, the Pokemon TCG is great. Pokemon TCG Live is... it is better than what it used to be. I will say that much. Interesting. Mew EX in what looks like Ancient Box. That's weird. If you put a Charmander on the bench, so that same turn you cannot. TCGL is definitely passable. It is better than it was when it first launched. Okay, that was your problem. Yeah, nope, no worries. This is going to be something we want to target down. Pokemon TCG. I know there's a lot of people who miss PTCGO. I miss PTCGO as well. Okay, do we want to play... oh, actually, we can TM Evo here. Yeah, TM Evo is actually fantastic. Let's go Arven, and let's go grab a Buddy Poffin, and... yeah, we have TM Evo in hand, so that we'll grab the Defiance Band then. And we can TM Evo the Moltres. And we'll go Charmander. You'll get two Charmanders down. And let's go TM Evo. This is actually looking very good for us. Let's go and TM Evolution. And let's grab a Charmander and a Pidgey. So we'll grab the Pidgeotto first. And we'll grab the Charmeleon. Now we've got an easy route to Charizard. We can retreat this Moltres with the Switch. Iono. This is looking good. Looking good. Moltres putting in some work. I'm surprised that the Moltres did anything of value. So we'll take it. Ooh, that's a bad Pokestop for our opponent. Is this League battle deck you just made a video on? Yes. So I recently put out a video where we talked about the news that the Charizard League battle deck is on the way. We are playing that list right now, the exact 60 cards. It is there. To be fair, the Moltres is the one question mark, but I'm almost certain it's this Moltres. Almost certain it's this Moltres. Okay, they're gonna switch in. Oh, interesting. Oh, Prime Catcher the... oh, interesting. They go after the Pidgeotto. That does cut off our draw options, and that's a little unfortunate. But we can make some stuff work. Now, here's one of the question marks, right? I could Iono to get more cards. I kind of don't want to. I want to leave them with two. We have what we need, right? And I understand the rationale of going after the Pidgeotto because Pidgeot can really help our draw consistency, but they are leaving. Actually, no, they're going to have four. They're going to have 4 cards right now. We give them 5. We also get the opportunity to set ourselves up a little better. We have a bunch of energy. Ooh, we could boss up the... Do I want to boss up the Mew? That might be a not bad idea, actually. And take that prize lead. Yes, let's go 1, 2. We can afford to do 3. Normally, you don't in Charizard. Charizard's running as low as 5 fire energy right now. But these days, we are running 10. Defiance Band, is it worth it to gust the Mew right now? Or do we just say we can pick that off later? No, we're gonna... do I want to boss right now? We are swinging for 240. Chats. Okay, please no coaching. Okay, let's shuffle up the hands and let's give ourselves 6 new cards. Okay, we get a Pidgey, so we could potentially set that up later. We do get a Charmeleon. That's nice to set up. Pidgey, I will hold off on that energy for later, and we will swing for 240. Take out the Roaring Moon. And we'll go from here. If you played XY for N on every deck because it works. Yeah, shoutouts to N. I didn't play during the XY era. So, ooh, they've got a Roaring Moon. Interesting. Are they going to be able to set that up fast enough, though? Maybe. Go in with the Frenzy. Actually, you know what? The Moltres would be amazing right here for taking out this. Is the Moltres actually going to do something good here? It might. Oh, wait. The Moltres has to hit the bench. The Moltres has to hit the bench. Discard 2 energy. This attack does 120 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay. So that's not as helpful. Ancient Booster Capsule. They're going to have to go for a Frenzied Gouging here. We're still going to one-hit KO it. Yeah, they are very much going all in on this attack. That's fine. Sure. Frenzied Gouging. They take this out. We can get a Pidgeotto, and then we're a little closer to getting set up here. I don't think they're going to run a second Roaring... they might have a second Roaring Moon. There's the second Roaring Moon. Okay. What's the odds they're going to get a second Roaring Moon rolling again? Right? They've already burned all 4 Dark Patches. They've burned 2 Sada's Vitalities. Okay. Here we go. Let's go with the Charmeleon. Oh, we can just Rare Candies. Yeah, we can Rare Candy Pidgeot. That's fantastic. What a top deck. Let's go and get down. I'm going to quick search for... I think we can afford the Iono here. Hold on. Let's get Char's... What do I want to get down? I think we get rid of the Moltres. I think we can get rid of the energy. I will go and grab a Charmander. And then we'll Iono here. And then we can put some energy onto... Does powering up the Moltres even matter? I don't think it does. Let's just go and power up the... Yeah, we can just take 2. Actually... I could have attached 1 more. That's fine. Let's go in Iono here. Okay, we get ourselves some more cards. Yeah. Artazon. I'm not going to give them Artazon. Not going to give them Artazon. We do have Rare Candy here. Let's go and swing for 270. Take this down to 3. And they just scoop. GG. So, yeah, quick win for us. They burned... Like, that was a pretty cool... Like, Turbo Roaring Moon is a deck that can beat Charizard. However, they kind of put themselves in an all-or-nothing position. I think taking out the Pidgeot... And I understand the position to take out the Pidgeot, right? That means we don't have the draw power, and they're assuming that we can't get the Charizard rolling on the following turn. We bring in the Charizard... that Roaring Moon we have enough firepower to take out the Roaring Moon with the Ancient Booster Capsule. They bring in a Roaring Moon EX, which can one-hit KO Charizard, but at that point they've burned all their dark patches, and it was going to be difficult for them to get another attacker rolling. Charizard EX just comes in, absolutely wipes out that Roaring Moon EX, and it was a little overkill in the sense that we only needed 90 damage to take out that Roaring Moon EX, but we were swinging for a lot. At that point, we were going to one-hit KO everything in that deck, and we were in a really good spot with the Pidgeot set up to draw cards, and we had the other Charmander on the bench. Like, it was looking not so good for our opponent. So we'll take that win. GG's. And we'll get one more card here as well. TM Evo, that's very good. Okay, Turbo Roaring Moon again. All right. Yeah, we'll definitely want a TM Evo here then. So we'll hold on to our hand. Let's see what they got. Roaring Moon does not like going first, generally speaking. I can't believe we're running into so many Roaring Moons on the ladder. It's kind of silly. Oh. Searching. Thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. Maybe to research into Zard costs too much. Yeah, interesting. They're putting a lot of energy on the Squawkabilly. Yeah, to get the motivation play. Yeah, I think we want Artazon and we want a TM Evo, and then we research on the following turn, giving us more opportunities to it'll be easier to set up the deck after that. Oh, triple vessel? Are you kidding me? Oh. Okay. Okay. An Iono here would be fantastic, but are they just going to grab all the energy right now? I think that's a terrible idea. Yeah, we could Iono all that to... Theoretically, we could have Iono'd all that to the bottom. We know they have 4 energy in hand. And this is from your discard pile to one of your... Yeah. I don't know if that was the play. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Well, we'll wait for them to keep going. I wonder if they don't realize that they're not attacking right now. Okay, there's the dark patch. Sure. What we're going to need, I'm assuming they're going to knock out this Pidgey. We're going to have to find a Defiance Band. Yeah, they're burning all their earthen vessels right now to put all the energy in the hand right now. Again, I strongly advise against this. They're going to get 2 energy off Motivate on the following turn, which they might be trying to do. Man, they are taking their sweet time with this turn. Not a fan of that, but okay. We are in a pretty... Oh, we could Iono right now. I think, yeah, we Iono instead. So let's go and grab we'll grab double Charmander. We will play TM Evo. We'll put energy on the Pidgey. And I will Artazon. That does give them access to another Roaring Moon, and that does kind of suck. But we'll make do. And we'll give ourselves 6 cards and throw all their energy to the bottom of the deck. And we get ourselves... Yeah, we get ourselves some pieces here. And the Defiance Band, too. That's fantastic. Actually, yeah, let's go and grab that 3rd Charmander here. I think that's it. We don't have to bench a 3rd Pidgey. And let's go and TM Evo a Charmander and a Pidgey. We'll get the Pidgeotto. And we'll get a Charmeleon. And we've got ourselves a pretty good run for the next go-round. Okay, let's see how they play it now. Odds are they bench a Roaring Moon here. Like a baby Roaring Moon. Yeah, I don't think it was the smartest choice to run after all those. Put all that energy in your hand. Like, you had no use for it at that point. So if we take out the Squawkabilly, we go up 2 prizes. This Roaring Moon comes in. Frenzied Gougings, this Charizard. We come in with another Charizard. And then I think it's just like trading KOs at that point. So let's see how this goes. Okay, here comes a Brute Bonnet. Ancient Capsule, get some poison on. Why is everyone playing this particular build of Roaring? I don't think this is the strongest version of Roaring Moon they could be playing right now. But okay. And why did they accelerate to the baby Roaring Moon? I don't know. Maybe they're seeing something I'm not. Are they just going to retreat into the other one? Yeah, they're going to retreat into that one and take the KO. Okay. We're going to get the KO. They'll probably Frenzied Gouging on the following turn. Focus Stop again. That's fine. Well, not as fine. Okay, that's a good... They get rid of a Roaring... that technically powers that up. Okay, Vengeance Flinchling for 120. Okay, these 2 Roaring Moons are the big ones here. So let's go and bring Charmeleon into the active. We're going to evolve Pidgeot. Grab a Zard. Item and a tool. Does Arven get us something else? Like item if we get like Ultra Ball, mill our hand a bit, and then a tool card or something like that? No. I don't think we want to play around too much here. Let's just grab the Zard. Power this up. Actually, you know what? Would it be better? We have the Rare Candy here. I will go and keep this Charmeleon on the bench because this is going to be easier to set up later. That's what I should have done. Does suck that we burned our Charizard on that, or our Switch card on that, but that's okay. Yes. Let's go grab 3 energy. We'll go 1, 2, and 1 on the Charmeleon, and we'll hold off on attaching this energy for now. And let's just go swing for 210. If I had Moltres, it would have been a free retreat. Yeah, you're right. Okay, there's the Moltres. There it is. Okay. I'm expecting Sada's Vitality, attach, Frenzied Gouging. At which point, you know what? Charmeleon could attack, right? Charmeleon could attack and just take out the Roaring Moon. Let's see. If they have an Ancient Capsule, that could be a little problematic, but we have some routes here, right? Okay, yeah, here comes the Sada. Attacking with the Charmeleon, if they don't get a capsule on the Roaring Moon, could be the play. And then the price trade becomes a little more reasonable at that point. So hopefully they don't get a capsule here. Man, what's with all the Roaring Moon? Did I miss something? Okay, here comes. Actually, the best card on the format. Okay, they get rid of another Roaring Moon. I mean, they are still building up that baby Roaring Moon to potentially... Oh, they're going to get a 3rd one down? Okay. Or 3rd one out? Yep, I expect the Gouge. Actually, you know what? Maybe we don't even power... We don't... We'll grab another Charmeleon. That's what we'll do. We'll grab another Charmeleon. I don't have to power up another Charizard EX because that just puts us at risk of getting... Yeah, I think that's the play. That's the play. We just attach an energy to the Charmeleon. We knock out this Roaring Moon, 2 for 1. Ooh, double Explorer's Guidance. That's not great. Okay, they Frenzy Gouging. Yeah, maybe the play is Hand Disruption here? No. I think we got to get a Charmeleon, and we'll set that up, and then we can disrupt their hand later. But yeah, I definitely want to attack the Zard, or attack this Roaring Moon with this Charmeleon. Okay, we'll let them take their prize cards. Again, taking their sweet time with these turns. I mean, hey, they have a shot at winning this. Okay. Combustion for 50. There's our Moltres. Okay. And let's go grab another Charmeleon here. I don't think there's any point in hitting the Pokestop right now. That could be more bad than good. We're just going to swing Combustion for 50. And we'll take 2 prizes. Okay. We have a pretty good line of play here at this point. Charmeleon, we boss up the Roaring Moon. We knock that out. And I don't think Baby Roaring Moon has enough gas in the tank to one-hit KO afterwards. Moltres is so bad in this. Literal bricks. Yep. Oh, are they going to go after the Pidgeot? That could be bad. Not necessarily. Okay, Ancient Booster Capsule. They are preparing for... They're preparing for it, whatever it is. Okay, Vengeance Fletchling. 210. Yeah, they're going to need a lot to take out a Pidgeot or take out a... Okay, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Right, I think we have... Oh, yes. Iono's... okay, we don't want Iono right now. Oh, we could Prime Catcher and then Iono. That would be fantastic, actually. Let's go and grab Zard. Tell me we have the Prime Catcher in the deck still. Tell me we have the Prime Catcher in the deck. Yes, we do. Okay, so let's go search for Prime Catcher. And then we'll Iono them down to 2 cards. And we have the energy. Yep, 2. Jets it. 1, 2. Let's go quick search. We are going to grab Prime Catcher. How much are we swinging for right now? We're swinging for 300, right? Okay, perfect. Let's go and grab Roaring Moon. We'll go retreat into the Zard. And yeah, we could throw a Defiance Band on here too, just to rub salt in the wound. And we'll go and Iono them down to 2 cards. And yeah, we can Super Rod some stuff back in. Throw the Moltreses back in. And a Charmander. Let's go. 330. And now they need... They're going to need a lot. They're going to need a lot, right? This Roaring Moon's going to have to be able to get a couple more cards in the Lost Zone, and they're going to need a Boss's Orders. And they've only got 3 cards to work with. So it's not impossible for them to come back. Or they're going to get a Roaring... Can Roaring Moon even come back at this point? I don't think they can. Let's see it. Do they have it? Do you got it like that? Oh, they got rid of the Sada! Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I'm guessing, yeah, 2 cards. The likelihood of them being able to... Here. So 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200, 210, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, they're short. They're short 4 to knock out this Pidgeot. And I don't think they're going to get... I don't think they're going to get the thing at this point. So they swing into the Charizard, and we just knock it out, and it's GG's. And we could even gust them up with the Pidgeot. But I think 1 prize is enough. You're new, you're facing in rank 99 Roaring Moon or Chen Pal. Yeah, I haven't seen Chen Pal in quite some time. Yeah, they're just going to Vengeance Expression for 240. Still, with the poison, 270. That's like a really good combo against most decks. But this is not most decks. Right, here we go. I know this is a little bit extra. We're going to grab a boss's orders here and boss up that Squawkabilly, take 7 prizes. And that's game. GG's. There we go. Charizard doing its thing. Really unfortunate that we've gotten all Roaring Moon matches today. I don't know why this deck is so popular on the ladder, but sometimes it just be like that. But yeah, despite the early onslaught, we were able to sequence our cards in a way where we were able to get the last laugh. I think being able to set up the Charmeleon to attack ended up being huge. They were not able to get an Ancient Capsule on that Roaring Moon that did the Frenzied Gouging, so we could knock it out with the Charmeleon. We made sure to not evolve that 3rd Charizard or that Charmander on the bench up, so they didn't have another 2-prize target to gust around, and that ended up being great for us. In that last sequence, being able to gust up the Roaring Moon EX with the Prime Catcher, which then freed us up to then play the Iono to give them no cards to work with, pretty much doom them. So some really nice sequencing at the end there to close the door. GG's. And there we go. That is a look at the Charizard EX League Battle Deck. Unfortunately, we only got Roaring Moon matches, which is very weird for the ladder at this point in time, but I think we showed a number of the deck's strengths and some of the very cool and powerful things it can do. Again, I think this is an absolutely phenomenal product, and it's worth picking up. And especially if you're just getting into the Pokemon trading card game and you are looking for a strong deck that won't take too much to upgrade and is going to be good for a long time, Charizard feels like this is the best League Battle deck ever, and like hands down the best one to grab. Yeah, I will do another video in the future, like not long from now, where I will compare and contrast all the League Battle decks together. If you want some more information and maybe you want to try something else, like there's the Gardevoir League Battle deck, Miraidon, and maybe even Palkia, and I'll give you all that information in a future video. But for now, I gotta get going. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me on all the things: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at InThirdPerson. You can find me on Twitch at InThirdPerson, where I stream the Pokemon trading card game every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And check out the website, inthirdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. So until the next one, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.